Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. Joan served the state of California as a member on the Arts Council and on the Film Commission. She was formerly on the Architectural Commission and fulfilled 2 terms on the Fine Arts Commission for the city of Beverly Hills. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview magazine, Condé Nast Publications, and the Hearst Corporation, Joan covered the world of fashion, the mysteries of food, the excitement of theater, and the international art scene. She continues to find people who are on the cutting edge of their professions. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're taping at the Hollywood Museum in the historic Max Factor building, and waiting are actor Carey Fox and actor-author Cheech Marin. Actor Carey Fox, he studied acting with Stella Adler, Lee Strasberg, and John Abbott, both in Los Angeles and New York. He's worked on the stage, in films, and with major stars in and on TV. When you left Mission High School, were you going to be an actor?
Mission Bay, yeah, like Frank Zappa's alma mater.
Oh, did he go to Mission Bay too?
Yeah. But
and ended up in the Valley.
Yeah, so we all do, don't we?
So you two Valleyites were out there in Mission Bay?
Yeah, with the sun and surf. But yeah, I grew up there. No, I was in music actually early on, and
that's why you knew.
Yeah. So
Zappas, the Zappas.
Big fish in a small pond down in San Diego, and we had a great band, a few great bands.
Did you sing?
Yeah, sing and wrote. I have like 4 music videos on YouTube right now under Carey Fox and Dark Matter.
Dark Matter.
Yeah, exactly. What is that? It's
What
there.
kind of
They say
music?
it is.
What kind of music?
It's like a cross between like Doors and U2 kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good music.
Yeah, all original stuff. It's pretty cool.
And you don't play anymore?
No, I do play still, but you know, it's like the acting's been like
Taking over?
a lot of my time lately. Yeah.
But was there show business in your family?
No, not really. I don't know where I caught the bug.
I was going to say, if you were on stage and you were musical, then how did acting come in?
I just, you know, I was in Los Angeles and I was watching this shoot taking place, you know, and a shoot and...
You mean on the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have everywhere,
shoot.
right?
Yeah, everywhere in Los Angeles, yeah. But for me, it was brand new, you know. I was just driving down Sunset and I said, what's that up ahead? And the whole, you know, arcs everywhere and lighting up things and blinded, and I just pulled over and something bit me there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
At that point? And then did you start going to these acting schools?
Yeah, and that's when I sought out some good acting coaches.
Did you ever think of modeling? I mean, you're like the perfect guy for the male model routine.
Well, that's nice, but I don't think so.
No?
Yeah.
Then how were you discovered? How did you really break into acting?
You know, you get lucky. You know, luck has a lot to do with it, I think.
Do you?
Yeah.
Talent. You have to be talented.
Yeah, well, you have to have something, you know. If you don't have something, then you're really in trouble.
So how did they find you?
You know, you start networking and building up things and other contacts, and word gets around, and you get a job, and you get another job, and then you don't work for a while, and you get another job.
Wait, but then do you get an agent?
Yeah, you get an agent, you get a manager.
You left the agent manager out, but you
Yeah.
have to be able to prove something to them, right?
Yeah. It's really a catch-22, because usually you can't get an agent unless you're SAG, and you can't be SAG
Unless you've worked.
Yeah, unless you get a line in a movie. So.
Okay, so that's not such a bad question. How did it happen?
So if you're thinking about that out there, you better think about it again.
Oh, you think so? But you've been working. Do you work on stage?
I do. Matter of fact, the film that I'm doing right now, Detained in the Desert, started out as a stage play.
I know. Josefina Lopez
Right, yeah.
Wrote a play.
Right.
Did you act in that?
I did.
Oh,
I
you
originated
did.
the role of Lou Becker.
You did?
Yeah.
At Casa 0101?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were a natural. You didn't have to audition for your role for the film.
Well, it's a funny story, you know. I wasn't their first choice originally. They had cast an overweight guy that they thought was physically right for it. And then when he read the script and saw that he'd have to be in pink boxer shorts in the desert for half the movie, he was on his way to China all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
And so they were in a jam. They were in a jam.
No. Weren't you lucky?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had done a show for them earlier, Thy Kingdom Come, which Jared Sanchez wrote, and I played 3 roles in that, like a gem. It takes place like, when the Incas and Spanish and Mayans and all that stuff is going on. And so I played the Viceroy of New Spain and a wealthy plantation owner who rapes his slaves. I get killed in the first scene with that. And then I played...
This is all on stage,
Yeah, it's all on stage. Like 20 of us with swords.
Wow.
Luckily nobody got, maimed or...
Do they do it in Spanish or only English?
No, English.
It's all English?
Yeah, because Spanish I'd be in trouble.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, I would.
Well, the detained in the desert has Spanish-speaking people, right?
Right, yeah.
Tell us what the story is.
The story is, basically it's about the controversial Arizona immigration laws, like SB 1070, where if you're driving through Arizona and you even look like you might not belong, they can pull you over, sweat you, and if you can't prove that you're a citizen, they can take you in. Something that caught Josephine's attention and her passion went on from there. And
Did she write it?
She did. And this is her first film since she wrote, Real Women Have Curves, which, was in 2002. It won Robert Redford's Audience Award at Sundance. And
she got a lot of awards.
Yeah, and the first acting awards for Lupe Ontiveros and America Ferrara, and they won the coveted Humanities Award for writing. So.
But this is also humanitarian, isn't it?
She writes with her heart. She thought after that great success that, she was on the fast track to fame and fortune, and sometimes, the ideas that come to your passions aren't that commercial, and you don't get made.
Yeah, they're not commercial. That's the thing, right?
She decided to make the leap and executive produce her own film, which she's done here.
So she did Real Women Have Curves,
Mm-hmm.
and she got all these awards.
Mm-hmm.
Then she wrote Detained in the Desert several years later.
Right.
And then no one really is interested in it, right?
Well, I don't know that. I think once they see the film there.
No, I mean before.
Oh, yeah,
and
before.
And then she took it under her own wing.
Right, and nurtured it from the stage to the screen. And
Is she in it?
I think she does some voiceover stuff in it.
She?
Yeah.
And who directed?
This wonderful director, Ileana Sosa. She's a new director. This is her first feature, yes.
I know. I love that about Josefina because she brings women into everything.
Exactly.
And are there a lot of women in this?
There are a lot of women. There are. As a matter of fact,
So there's roles just for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. There are. And
But you're the main.
I'm the main antagonist. Yeah.
What do you do?
Okay, I play this jerk, Rush Limbaugh. Glenn Beck type character. I have my own radio talk show out of Phoenix.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm constantly blasting the immigration and Mexicans and this and that, and just spewing hate and this young Latino family they lose their brother in a bludgeoning crime, and they blame it on my character Lou Becker, because I'm always trashing illegal immigration and all the migrants and stuff like that, and so they end up kidnapping.
Where was it? Did you do it on location?
We did. We shot out in what the hell was it, man? It was hotter than hell. Like 109 degrees.
The valley? No,
yeah,
it wasn't
army ants everywhere, and you got to lay in the sand, and
It wasn't in Arizona, though, was it?
No. We shot. What the hell was the name of that place? It's halfway to Las Vegas or something like that.
But you were actually in the dirt rolling around, because the pictures of you are just
it's pretty
grim, right?
Yeah, it is.
Did you get hurt?
I was half devoured by the army ants, and no, actually, it was all very safe set.
How long was it?
I think it was a 21-day shoot. Yeah.
And did you stay out there, or did you do other things here?
We stayed out there when we were doing them. We shot at KPFK on Coanga, which is the public radio there, which is their radio station. And
because you were the radio broadcaster.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. And shot around town, and then we shot out in the desert, and came up with a great film.
One of the things that she did with this film is it's a benefit. for Border Angels.
Which is an organization which is headed and founded by Enrique Morones, who's an extraordinary human being. He goes out to the desert and leaves water at key locations where immigrants
he does.
try to get across the border, and every just like it says in the film,
Border Angels.
Yeah, every day that we don't have humane immigration laws, like 2 people die out in the desert, and over 10,000 have died out there since Operation Gatekeeper,
Wow.
which I think was in the mid-90s or something.
So this film is really a consciousness-raising effort for humanity. I mean, it's the humanities and humanitarian rights, right?
Yeah, and I'm honored to be a part of it because everybody should know about these issues, And everybody's human, and they're human beings, and they don't deserve to die like that. They have unmarked graves in Arizona, like one graveyard over 600 people that haven't been identified that have died, and it happens every day.
What else are you working on? Oh, that's
what else am I working on? I'm working on a new show called Filthy Rags, which was written by a co-star of mine in the TV series Asylum. And it's a great show, and they want to do the same thing from the stage. We're going to shoot the film.
Oh, oh, really?
Yeah.
So are you on the stage? Was it right now?
Yeah.
Where are they?
We've been doing a couple isolated performances for backing and things like that. But man, it's a killer show.
Sounds very good, and I'm so glad you came to us and talked about Detained in the Desert.
So, we have the world premiere tomorrow. Well, this is already going to air after that. Across the street at the Chinese Theater.
I know, which is fabulous.
Are you coming?
Too. Right here.
Oh, come on.
Right here from the
5
Hollywood
o'clock.
Museum.
You can watch it right from here. Just go out on the balcony.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Don't go away. Cheech Marin will be right back with us. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. I'm here with actor, director, comedian, author, and Chicano art big collector, Cheech Marin. He's known as one half of the comedy duo, Cheech and Chong, and Cheech, our Cheech here, was born and raised in Los Angeles and went to San Fernando Valley State College, which is now Cal State Northridge, where he is beloved for all of his fundraising efforts for the school. He's appeared in lots of films, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Machete, Beverly Hills, Chihuahua, Cars, but you know him best from NASH Bridges. And what was your NASH Bridges?
That NASH Bridges was a TV series with me and Don Johnson for CBS. We did it for 6 years.
For a long time. Very slick. Don Johnson was very slick, wasn't he?
Still is very slick.
He still is. I always think of that as being like super cool colors.
Yeah.
Everything was like streamlined.
Mm-hmm. Don has a very, very good visual sense, and he knows kind of how to put those elements together. Technically, he's one of the smartest guys I've ever met.
Well, I hate to say it, but you're one half of a comedy duo. Does that mean you're only half funny, or what does that mean?
I'm only funny when I get paid.
I see. So today you're not going to be funny. But is that a big thing?
What?
Like half always being known like that?
No, you're funny. Each of us individually are funny, but we have this certain rhythm that we do with each other.
When you're with each other, and do you still do it?
Yeah, we're on tour now. We've been touring for the last 4 years after having not been together for 20 years.
So you were together for how long?
17.
And then you split for almost as long?
Yeah.
And now you're on a reunion tour.
Yeah, we've been touring again.
Where do you go?
Wherever they got into the casinos.
Really?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. And a lot of open concerts. And it's all kinds of, from Radio City Music Hall to some Apache casino in Albuquerque.
Really?
Yeah,
and how long is your show?
About an hour and a half, or 45, somewhere around there.
Cheech, I want to get this out of the way.
Okay.
Your father was 30 years on the LAPD.
Yes, it was.
And you were a brat. How did he deal with? How did he deal with
With a
that?
very fast-moving hand.
Oh, but those were your drug days, right?
No, this was after. Well, during.
During, yeah.
Before and during. But I grew up with him being a policeman. He was on. He was worked juvenile for LA.
Oh, my
All those
gosh.
years. His greatest fear was I was going to be a juvenile delinquent.
But
And
you weren't.
Well, yeah, I wasn't. No, I was a really studious kid. I was an altar boy and a choir boy, and
I know you went to Catholic school.
Yeah, the religion award, and but I was mischievous.
You were,
Yeah.
and then why did they call you a Richard?
Uh-huh.
Were you ever Richie or
Yeah,
Ricky?
no, Richard always. I hated all his nicknames, but my family always called me Richard.
But you hated those nicknames. But here you are, Cheech.
Yeah, I didn't like the nicknames for Richard. I didn't want to be a dick.
What was that? Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. But my nickname is in the family was chicharron, and chicharrones are deep fried pig skins, and like Mexican potato chips. And when I was a little baby, my uncle looked in the crib. And he said, "Oh, it looks like a little chicharron."
Oh, because you were all wrinkled up.
Yeah, and so that was my name in the family. But then it got shortened to Cheech.
Oh, so that's how it came about.
Mhm.
But were you always acting? Because you went to Catholic schools, you went
Yeah.
on to college. Were you acting all the time?
I was always a musician. I was
Oh.
always a guitar player, singer, all since I was 5 years old. So when I went up to Canada and met Tommy, he was running an improv theater and a topless bar, perfect combo, and
LAPD.
and so I told him that I improv'd a resume. I told him that I was a member of Instant Theater, and
And then that's how the duo
that's
came
how it
about.
came about.
What about, I think everyone knows your acting, your time, your movies, all that. So let's talk about being an author.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because I bought my little Paloma Quinn, the school bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us about that.
Well, that came out of music. There again, a music thing that I made a couple music albums called Cheech the Bus Driver. It was all Tex-Mex music. It was from my former record producer, Lou Adler, had this company. And he and his wife were volunteers at UCLA, and she said that there's a dearth of material for Spanish-speaking kids. And so I did it in English and in Spanish, but they're all, educational things, but they're really fun.
Was it recording or just,
Yeah,
it was
it was a
recording
recording.
and then it was put into book?
Yeah, then it was put in the book.
Because we went to the book signing at Yolanda Gonzalez's studio, and she's a great artist,
She
and
is.
she's very supportive. And then you also had, what was the other one? Captain Cheech?
Yeah, there's three of there's three.
Okay,
Cheech the Bus
Cheech
Driver.
and the Spook Ghost.
Yeah, Spooky Bus.
Spooky,
And-
Spooky Ghost Bus.
Yeah, it's all Cheech the Bus Driver, different adventures.
It's all you.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Did you write the stories?
Uh-huh. Yeah. They're all taken from the episodes that I did in music.
So you did the music. Did you
Mhm.
write that?
Yes, I did
You
the
wrote
music,
that,
yeah.
and then you just and then who did the illustrations in the books?
I'm trying to, Romero is it? No, Ramirez. I can't-
Ramirez.
Ramirez. That was it.
And you brought them in to do each one?
Uh-huh.
Each
No,
different book?
He was signed on for all three books.
Oh,
think
he
they
was,
were-
I see.
I think they were published by Little Brown. I
Uh-huh.
had a deal with Little Brown.
So what is Chicanitas?
Chicanitas is the catalog for my latest art show.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. You're a great art collector, close to my heart. You have fantastic, just Chicano
Strictly
artists.
Chicano artist.
And what is a Chicano artist? What does it include?
A Chicano is a Mexican American with attitude.
It's all Mexican American,
So strictly
not
Mexican.
South American.
No, not South American.
Oh.
Chicano is by definition Mexican American, born in this country.
Oh, I see.
But with a defiant political attitude. And,
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought Chicano just talked about all Latin.
see, you're learning something here.
I did learn.
Yeah, no, it's specific. In the Latino pie in the United States, of all the nationalities, 3/4 of it is Mexican-based. Mexican and Mexican American. So Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Salvadorian, Guatemala together is a quarter of the pie.
That works.
Yeah.
That works as part of your collection?
No, just
It doesn't work.
Specifically Mexican American.
I see, it doesn't work.
Because
Okay.
that's the biggest part of the pie.
So your collection was shown at LACMA,
Yes.
and I don't know how many pieces.
Currently, it's up and we're trying to determine what about 500 or 600 paintings.
But that wasn't all, that many weren't shown at LACMA,
No, I
right?
think at
And then to go
LACMA
on tour?
Yeah, well, we did the tour first. It was called Chicano Visions, and it went on for 7 years in all major museums.
You mean it was just going and
Yeah.
going and going, and finally LACMA?
So, you would think that they would be the first one to sign up. They were the last.
I know.
But with, under the leadership of Michael Govan, who was a wonderful guy, it finally came here. Now, and I've done subsequent tours. I did a tour called Papel Chicano, which is works on paper, and now Chicanitas.
Chicanitas are small pieces?
Small paintings.
Okay, let's go back. Do you know every artist that you collected that was in the tour?
Absolutely.
You know them personally?
Personally, I know every single one of them, and I buy directly. I've bought through galleries, which I prefer to do because I want the galleries to exist.
Yeah.
But I buy directly from the artists and all over the country.
Oh, all over the country.
Because there's Mexican Americans, Chicanos all over the country.
Oh, not Mexican Californians.
Not necessarily. You can be a Mexican and be from Ohio.
No.
Yes, you can.
Oh, so are there any artists there though?
Lots. We're in the midst of the biggest wave of immigration ever in the history of the country right now, chiefly from Mexico. The thing that differentiates it from previous waves is that it is in every state simultaneously, not just the West and Southwest.
Oh.
It's in the Mexicans are the most populous Latinos in New York City right now.
So you buy from in New York City?
Everywhere, wherever
and
I
you know
find them.
everyone.
Every
Okay, let's
single
talk
one.
about a few of the names in the
Okay.
collection.
This has been going on for 4 generations now. There's 4 generations of Chicano artists. It started in the late 60s.
So we have 40 years you've been
Yeah.
buying?
Well, it's about 20 that I've been buying them.
But they were still alive, so you were
They
able
were
to
still
meet
alive.
them,
Carlos
right?
Almaraz,
Oh yeah, who's gone?
who's passed on. But in 2017, LACMA is doing the big Carlos Almaraz show as part of Getty LA.
Oh, because they're doing the Hispanic part, aren't they, with
Exactly,
Getty
yeah.
LA? Oh, so that he'll have a show. So you have pieces of his that you'll loan?
Many, absolutely.
Many. He was great.
He was one of the best painters I've ever seen.
And he painted LA.
Yeah, some parts of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And Frank Romero, Patsy Valdez, John Valdez was just gonna.
oh, I love John
John
Valadez's work.
Valdez is one of the great painters in America today.
Yeah, very good.
He just had a big retrospective at the San Diego Museum
Right.
and Mexican Museum in Chicago. It's currently on view at the Vincent Price Museum in East LA. He's done
That Vincent Price Museum is a treasure, isn't it?
It's a wonderful, wonderful.
It's a really great, it's really good. The one thing you do is you mention women, you buy women artists.
Oh, women artists, yeah. I don't buy
You don't buy women, you buy women
Next name my
artists.
wife is here.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
no, I absolutely. The Chicanos are equally divided between men and women, all the great artists. I want to kind of promote them.
Where do you keep all that art?
Some of it in the house. We just moved into a bigger house now. It has a lot of
More
space.
walls?
More walls, and the vast majority of it is in storage. That's why I try to make these shows so it gets to travel, because my mantra has been that you can't love or hate Chicano art unless you see it. So my goal has been to get as many people to see it as possible, and usually the reaction is, "Oh, I didn't know it was going to be this. Oh, I like this."
Oh, it's great. It's
Yeah.
colorful, it's interesting, the I don't know, I love it, and I'm so glad that you continue to do that.
Yeah.
One of the other things you do at your house is you have salons.
Yes, we do.
And what do you do at those? I think that's
We do a
brilliant.
little eyeshadow. No. Well, my wife, who's Russian,
Natasha.
you'll see her soon, and she's a Russian pianist, and she does concerts all over. And she said, well, we should have some salons to introduce classical music and artists, basically painters and sometimes authors. And so we've been hosting these salons in our house, and we've got a great
So you
gathering.
mix, you have the artist
Uh-huh.
come in and she plays, she brings musicians in
Yeah.
as well.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing that I think is great, Natasha, who's a brilliant pianist, and you raise a lot of money for charities.
Yes, we do. We just got back from Denver and Boulder, where we did 2 days of performances for There With Care. It's a charity that helps young cancer victims and fills in the gaps of what all the other agencies don't cover, like gas or car repairs or lights or food or house cleaning or whatever.
It's
a wonderful
fantastic.
thing.
So we appreciate that. We appreciate everything we do. I think we've hit kind of like a more serious side
Yeah.
today, but it's been good because that's your intellect.
What? Yes.
Whatever it is, right?
Yes.
Thanks for being with us.
No, my pleasure.
And thanks for watching the Joan Quinn Profiles. Keep writing to JAQUINN1 at AOL.com.